Hey guys, Avi here, and per viewer request, I'm actually going to be discussing the classes in Star Wars as well as the kind of races that are built into it. A few people that I know in WoW were like, "Hey Avi, you know, what are the races? What's it like? I mean, are they different? Are they similar? And then what do the classes feel like?" So I'm going to take you to the character creation menu, and we're going to discuss these things. So choosing your allegiance. Compared to WoW, it's like choosing Alliance or Horde. You have the Republic, who were founded 2,000 years ago by explorers and diplomats. The Galactic Republic is a vast democracy led by the Supreme Chancellor. The Republic is a chaotic amalgam of many worlds, corporations and species, which often clash with each other. So it's a Republic. Then you have the Sith Empire, a rigid militaristic society where aliens are subjugated and the Sith Lords are supreme. The Empire is ruled by the mysterious, all-powerful Sith Emperor. To Imperial citizens, power is everything. Only the strongest ascend to glory. So you get to pick your allegiance. Now I'm going to start by going to the Galactic Republic. Here is your actual character creation menu. Now, you're going to have 4 basic classes, which are going to branch off into the advanced classes, which make up a total of 8 classes per side. So you have the Jedi Knight. Jedi Knight, pretty straightforward. You're going to, what I like to consider it as is it's equivalent to the heavy armor DPS, right? Now, when you look at the Jedi Knight, you see the heavy armor, heavy Republic armor, so basically, if you actually are interested in any of this stuff, you can go through, click through their equipment. They'll tell you about their equipment, give you a little summary. Their abilities, you can walk through there. The advanced classes, which I'll come back to. Their combat role, and then their story. And that's one thing that's unique about Star Wars The Old Republic is the story. It's a BioWare game. Every quest is voiced over. You go dark side, you go light side. Depending on what you choose, you can actually change your single player story. So we're going to go to the advanced classes. Now I'm going to walk through every advanced class for both sides, just so you get an idea of kind of what each is like. So the advanced classes for the Jedi Knight. One is the Jedi Guardian, and one is the Jedi Sentinel. Now the Jedi Guardian, or really the whole advanced class, after you reach level 10, you pick an advanced class. Now, these drastically change your gameplay, although most of the same abilities are going to be kind of built in. So, the Jedi Guardian's like a tank. It's a tank and it's a damage. They use a single lightsaber, have heavy armor, and have a resource of focus, which is kind of like a rage bar. You build up rage as you hit things and take damage. The Jedi Sentinel is a pure DPS class. Now they use medium armor, so they're going to take a lot more damage than you think, but they do have 2 lightsabers, and they are only focused on damage. That's actually my main character, so I'll talk about him later in a different video or something like that. So those are the 2 advanced classes for the Jedi Knight. So in essence, the Jedi Knight is a DPS and a tank, depending on which way you go. Now, don't be mistaken, if you do pick Jedi Guardian, you can still do a lot of damage. Next is the Jedi Consular, which has been kind of equivalated to a disciplined priest or a mage as far as Warcraft goes. So here you have the Jedi Sage, which is essentially a mage and a healer. Then you actually go into the Jedi Shadow, which is like the stealth class of Star Wars, one of the many actually. Now the Jedi Shadow uses a double-bladed lightsaber and can tank and can damage. So you'll see that each class has specific roles, and they'll have trees dedicated to those roles. It's not going to be too complex. But that's the basics of the Jedi Consular. Pretty straightforward, right? Then you have the Smuggler. The Smuggler is a ranged DPS or an up-close and personal stealth class. You can pick Gunslinger, which uses medium armor, 2 blaster pistols, focuses on damage, or Scoundrel, which can go into a healing subset or a damage stealth subset. Then you have the Trooper. The Troopers, the hardcore, shoot 'em up, great storyline by the way, I'll talk about those later. but great storyline, and they can heal or do damage, or tank or damage. Depending on what you pick, you know, your weapons and your armor might actually vary. Like with the Jedi, for example, if you go Jedi Guardian, you're going to use heavy armor. If you go the other one, you're actually going to use medium armor, so it really depends. But the Troopers are really cool classes, and one that I wish I had played the Republic side for, to be brutally honest. So they have a resource too, energy cells, basically a replenishing focus bar is what I like to consider it. And they're pretty straightforward there. So as far as races go, you're going to have some races on both sides actually. So we're going to go through some of these. Now you see, it's called species, and these are your races. And they aren't going to differ too much in form. You're going to have your humans, your Maralukas, who actually lost their eyesight and see through the Force, your Twi'leks, Zabroks, and Miralans. And if you're interested in the character description, feel free to go look it up. I'm not going to read through all of these, it would be too long of a video. Now, you see the social ability, it's not really anything too, I wouldn't really worry about it. It's just about social points, and you use it to like scan other people or rally your number of allies to gain a few social points. It's not that big of a deal. As far as the differences go, there's really no specific bonuses to each race. They're all pretty much the same. The only difference is really their sociability and their looks. Now you notice that some of these races are available to the Jedi Knight. If I were to go to Jedi Consular, you lose some races. So it's based in lore, Star Wars lore, kind of how that works, how it functions, and you see different races here. Smuggler races, you have a cyborg here, which is a combination of human and cybernetic parts, and just Zabrok and all these. So basically the races are all humanoid for the most part, but they're pretty straightforward. And I'm actually going to hold off on character customization to the end of the video, but I'll walk you through making a quick class, right? So that's the Republic. And now we're going to switch to the Sith. Now this is a faction that I play, and the classes are mirrored, so they are going to be nearly the same thing, just some different races and a different mentality as well, storyline. So you have the Sith Warrior, which is essentially the same thing as the Jedi Guardian. It's going to go into Sith Marauder, which is the 2 lightsabers, medium damage, and high damage, excuse me, not medium damage, medium armor, high damage, and Sith Juggernaut, which is the tank and the damage spec as well. You have the Sith Assassin and Sith Sorcerer, same thing, same as the Jedi Consular. Now you have the Bounty Hunter, which is the equivalent to the Trooper. So you can see they vary a little bit from the different sides. You can play Bounty Hunter, or you can play a Trooper, but essentially they're the same class, right? And the Imperial Agent. So you can see different races are here. 2 of the races that we didn't see in the previous one are going to be the Sith, which are the actual descendants of the Sith Order. You're going to see a different kind of cyborg mechanical parts. I'll show that off in a minute. And the Zabrok. So it's interesting to see how kind of these races conflict, but there's not too big of a difference, right? So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to go back to the Republic side and just walk you through character customization. So you're going to pick a Trooper, and we're going to go Cyborg. And then you get to pick your gender, and there's your guy. So in Star Wars, you actually get to pick a body type. They aren't too linear, so to speak. I mean, I always go with body type 2. You can also go body type 1, which is short and skinny. 2 is happy medium. Then 3 is the big buff, the soldier guy, right? And 4 is the bigger, overweight linebacker, as I like to call him. So we'll go with 3 for the purpose of this video. Now you get to pick a head. There's only 15 different options. I think there's a few more for the female, but this basically kind of associates what kind of ethnicity you're like. You see some Asian in here, some mixes, and then as you start to go down, some bolder faces, and then you can kind of go into some of the normal faces. So again, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use face 1. Now, one thing that I always get a big kick out of is with scars. You can customize your scars where you get a burn mark, cut mark, you got a hickey, burn across your face, just all these different scars and stuff. So it actually helps you really make a cool backstory for your character if you're a big RPer, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna give him the tri-scar on his face. Now you can do complexion, which is just going to change your eyebrows, your face, your eyeshadow, kind of what you look like as age goes. As far as features, I always prefer to grab a nice beard, you know. Eye color, again, self-explanatory. Pick your eye color, that's it. Now the cybernetics, this will change depending on what race you pick. If you pick a cyborg, obviously you get to change your cybernetics. If you pick a Zabrak, you get to change your horns. If you pick a Twi'lek, you get to change your tattoos and stuff like that. So it really depends on what you end up choosing, but they're all pretty self-explanatory. So we're gonna go with that. Hair, again, you don't have too many options, but it's there. And I mean, again, pretty straightforward. So we'll give him my favorite haircut in this game. Then hair color, again, same thing, and skin color as well. This depends on what race you're choosing, or what thing you actually decide to do. Let's actually give him a mohawk, and that's literally character creation. You enter a name, and it'll randomize, but that's honestly what it's like. So I hope that this has given people, especially the person who requested this video, a little more insight into the character customization and how it looks. I don't want to dive too deep into it because I could talk about this for hours, but it's fairly spread out, even though most of them are or almost every race is a bipedal. So you're not going to really have anything outside of that, but they're pretty unique, pretty different, and you don't really have to worry about having a lack of character customization. Now the big thing that you do want to realize is with character customization, make sure you like your character. You will be seeing him or her a lot in this game. Whether you're killing something or whatever, you're going to see a lot of your character. So make sure you like your character and you're happy with what your character actually looks like. Anyway, guys, if you have any further questions, feel free to comment on this video. I'd be happy to answer, or you can post it on my Facebook fan page as well. The links will be down on the bottom here. And if you have any more questions about Star Wars, I know I haven't been doing too many Star Wars videos, and I would actually love to do more. I've just been, like I said, I have my main here, Valence, and then I'm working on a Juggernaut because that's more like the class that I played in WoW, which was a Death Knight. So that's all I've really been doing, and with school and everything else and console streaming and stuff, that's what my sole focus has been. So if you guys would love to see more Star Wars content, feel free to tune into my live stream every Friday and Saturday, as well as various times throughout the week. And feel free to request any more videos. I'm actually happy I got a video request from someone on my Facebook, and I hope that he or she enjoyed this one. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Remember to check out my other content, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Thanks, guys. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time.